Welcome to This Explainer. Just the other day, I caught myself standing in my kitchen and my coffee was getting completely cold. I was literally responding to an urgent email on my phone with one hand, mentally planning this really difficult meeting with the other, and kind of nodding along to a news update I wasn't even really hearing. If someone had asked me, hey, where are you right now? I would have said the kitchen. But I wasn't in the kitchen at all. My body was there, sure, but I was completely scattered across a dozen different anxieties, responsibilities, and hypothetical futures. Does that sound familiar? Well, today, we're stepping away from that frantic pace. I want you to imagine we're walking out of that chaos and stepping right into a quiet, warm retreat lodge. This explainer is just a space for you to pause, gather yourself, and have a quiet conversation about presence in your daily life, inspired by Danielle Bodie's incredible work. So really ask yourself this right now. If you could set down the weight you're carrying for just 10 minutes, would you? So often we're just marching through our days against these cold, chaotic winds of daily distraction. We get absolutely bombarded by urgent demands, buzzing phones, and, let's be honest, those invisible heavy backpacks of emotional residue that we lug from one meeting or conversation to the very next. I want to invite you, right in this moment, to mentally step out of that cold wind.
Just step inside, settle in. Let the warmth of this space completely thaw out the hurry you've been holding on to. We spend so much of our lives just operating from reflex, pushing through the exhaustion, trying to manage our image. But true presence, it's not about looking calm on the outside while a literal blizzard is raging on the inside. It's about finding a genuine, grounded warmth right within yourself.
To kick things off, I want to ask you something. What are you actually carrying into this room right now? And no, I don't mean your laptop or your coffee mug. I mean the unresolved tension in your jaw, the frustration from an email you read, 20 minutes ago? The anticipatory anxiety about tomorrow's schedule. You don't need to fix any of it right now. Actually, scratch that. Don't even try to fix it. I just want you to notice it. Acknowledge the heavy bags you just walked in with, and for the next few minutes, just leave them by the door. We so often treat presence like a light switch, right? Like it's something we can desperately try to flick on the second we need to perform or look composed. But it's not a switch. Think of it instead as tending an internal hearth. Your inner architecture requires steady, gentle stewardship. You can't just force a fire to burn with a remote control. You have to protect it from drafts. You have to feed it. And most importantly, you just have to sit with it. And this leads us to something we actually get backwards a lot of the time. We normally think of distraction as something purely external, like a notification pinging or a loud noise in the hallway, but distraction is actually an internal fragmentation. When you're distracted, your attention, your energy, your very self is scattered across a dozen different concerns. You're everywhere and nowhere all at once. Presence, then, is the quiet confidence of gently gathering those scattered pieces of yourself back to the warmth of your internal hearth. Now, you don't tend to fire just once and walk away. You tend it in natural rhythms throughout the whole day. In the morning, you orient yourself. You lay the kindling before the winds of the day really pick up. Then, at midday, you recalibrate. You add a log, you block those drafts of stress that have quietly crept into the room. And finally, in the evening, you reflect. You let the embers bank down so they can safely hold the heat overnight. Just imagine that quiet moment of tending, sitting by the window, pausing for just a second, beginning your day from the center rather than, launching out of bed in a fragmented panic. It changes absolutely everything. And pausing at midday, that is exactly how you prevent the unconscious accumulation of stress. It literally stops the emotional residue of the morning from becoming this heavy, suffocating atmosphere in your afternoon. We often think of pausing as just taking a quick break, but it's actually so much deeper than that. It is about relational protection. Because when we don't pause, we react purely from reflex, and we end up projecting our own internal chaos onto everyone else. Taking a breath before speaking isn't just about calming down. It's a profound act of preserving dignity. It protects your relationships from your own unchecked reactivity. Danielle Bodie captures this absolutely perfectly. She says, presence allows another person to feel met rather than managed. Mindful listening isn't just some communication tactic. It is an act of warming others. When you truly listen, without immediately rushing to fix the problem or defend yourself, you're basically inviting someone else to come sit by your fire. You're preserving their humanity, and yours, in a very real, grounded relationship. So, are you ready for the hearth reset? For the next couple of minutes, I'm going to guide you through a quiet practice. I invite you to stop taking notes, unclench your hands, let yourself physically settle into whatever chair you're in right now. I'm going to slow my pace down a bit here,
And I invite you to let your own internal pace slow down right alongside me. Take a nice, slow, deep breath in and just let it out. Let's begin the reset. First, just notice the speed of your thoughts. You don't need to stop them, just observe them. Are they rushing by like a frantic winter wind? Is there a sense of urgency telling you that you need to be doing something else right this exact second? Just watch that speed for a moment. Let the spaciousness of this pause simply exist. You're safe here. There is absolutely no rush. Now gently shift your attention to your body. Try to soften the physical tension you're holding. Notice your shoulders. Are they creeping up towards your ears, almost like you're bracing for a storm? Just let them drop. Notice your jaw. Is it tight? See if you can release it. Breathe in slowly and out. Remember, there's no judgment here. If you're tense, you're tense. Just gently invite your body to set down the armor for a moment.
Finally, as you continue to breathe softly, gently gather your attention back to your center. If your mind wanders off to an unfinished task, that is completely okay. Reclaiming presence is not an act of harsh self-correction or rigid discipline. It's a gentle, compassionate gathering of the self. Kind of like calling a wandering dog back to the porch. Just warmly bring yourself back to the fire. Sit with the quiet steadiness of your own breathing. You are right here. You are anchored.
As we gently bring our practice to a close, consider your evening rhythm. Gathering the meaning of your day, journaling, reflecting, and then simply letting the remaining heat bank to embers. You don't have to carry today's ashes into tomorrow. You can acknowledge what happened, learn from it, and release it, completely trusting that the hearth will still be there in the morning. I'll leave you with this final thought, a truth to carry with you as you prepare to step back out into your day. Your presence is the hearth. Return to the fire and let the room warm itself. You don't have to force the world to slow down, and you definitely don't have to manage everyone else's chaos. You just have to tend your own inner steadiness. Stay anchored, stay warm, and the spaces you walk into will absolutely feel the difference. Thank you so much for taking this retreat with me today. As you step back into your day, ask yourself, who in your life most desperately needs to sit by the warmth of your quiet presence today?